Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope that everyone's well and safe during the coronavirus quarantine. If you guys are new to my channel, I really hope that you guys choose to stay because I have some really cool content coming up for you guys. And yeah, so basically, I'm starting a new series called LifeTalks with Tejal, in which I want to cover a variety of topics and literally talk about anything and everything. And the inspiration for this series actually came about from my conversations with my friends and family. So I found that over time I was having really inspiring conversations which were super valuable. They allowed me to see new perspectives, de-stress, and just share experiences and learn new things. And so I thought it would be really neat if I could share these ideas and experiences on an online platform, because you never really know what might speak to somebody, what experience might inspire somebody, or where you can learn something new from. And you guys might have really similar experiences or completely different experiences. You just never know what might inspire you or what might just hit you the right way at what time that will help change your way of looking at something. So that was the reason that I decided to start this series, which also leads to today's topic, which is starting something new. So before I dive deep into this topic, I just want to say that I am not a professional. I am not a therapist. I'm not a psychiatrist. I am in no ways perfect. So my ideas or my way of doing something might not be the right way of doing something. Usually isn't. So yeah, my way of doing something is not always going to be the right way. And this is supposed to be a conversation, so I would love it if you guys could share your experiences or your way of doing something. Tell me that I'm wrong. Tell me that I'm way off base with something if I am, because that's how we all can learn together. And I want like the vibe of this series to be like super casual, super candid, and just very chill, very uplifting and positive. So yeah, that's gonna be like the zone for all my talks. Do I want to add anything else? No. Okay, so let's get right into it. Starting something new. So starting something new can be really easy for some people, or certain tasks could be easier to start than other tasks. So it really depends from person to person, from situation to situation. I find that I myself, I'm really good at starting certain things, and then there are other things which I just keep putting off for whatever reason. And this series was one of those things. So basically, a little bit of a backstory. I've wanted to start this series for over a year now, and it is now April of 2020, where, yeah, I still haven't started it. But yeah, basically, I had this idea for a very long time, and I just never could get to it, and I'm not sure why, because it was really important to me. I found that I was thinking about it all the time. I was thinking about ideas for it, what I could talk about, different topics. But I just never got around to actually sitting down and shooting, which was starting to really irritate me. So I started wondering why. I wanted to know why I was putting this off, and I think that's also one of the things that helped me start this series, but I'll get into that in a bit. So I started wondering why I was not starting, and I broke it down into two different sections. So the first one is mental obstacles, and the second section is physical obstacles. So I realized that I had a few mental obstacles which were holding me back from starting this. And basically these mental obstacles were mostly because of fear and my nervousness. So I was fearful that this would not turn out to be as great as I want it to be. Like, I have a lot of expectations for this series and for myself in front of the camera. So I think all those expectations were scaring me, that what if I don't do as great of a job and it just doesn't turn out the way I want it to be. So that was a major fear. And the second fear was, what will people think of this? You know, people will find out that I'm doing YouTube videos in a more consistent manner, and they'll maybe be like, but why is she doing that? Or why is she not doing that? And I usually don't tend to focus on that part of it a lot. I really don't care what people think of me making YouTube videos, but I do care of the fact that, you know, people will have expectations of me too while I'm doing this. Because me being me, I was a person who quit my job and went to India and started acting school. So, or joined an acting school. I didn't start it. I'm always dancing in front of the camera. I love talking to people. I love public speaking. So there are a lot of things that I'm good at, which would make people automatically assume that I will be good at this. But me, myself, I have major doubts about this, because it's still different for me. Like talking in front of a camera candidly is not something I'm used to. So yeah, I don't have the same expectations or the same like faith in my abilities for making videos like this. So that's what also scared me, because I'm like, people will think that, you know, she's gonna do a great job. She's gonna sound so clear and concise, and her videos are gonna be great. And I don't wanna let those people down. And that was a major factor in me not starting this. And I think I didn't really think about it consciously until recently, but it was holding me back from starting this. And so now I'll move on to the physical obstacles which were stopping me from doing this, which are having the right kind of equipment. And I have like a task list of stuff that I have to do before I can shoot this. So I think the second one doesn't really make sense. So I'll start with the first one. Basically, I wanted to make sure I had the right type of equipment. I wanted to have like top of the line lighting, and I wanted to have a better set. And these are things that I could not afford to spend money at this point, because I myself don't know how or where this is going to go. I would rather invest money into something which I see results coming from. That's just me personally. So I was kind of in a loop, because like without great equipment, I didn't want to shoot this, but then I didn't want to get equipment without having something that I've shot. So I was stuck in a loop. So the second physical obstacle is actually, physical obstacle is hard to say, is actually that I have like, it's kind of like more mental as well too. It's kind of a bit of both. But basically I had to finish a bunch of things before I could shoot this. So a lot of those tasks were necessary for this project, and some of them were completely unnecessary, but I have like this incessant need to do everything in order before I can move on, and that is not helpful at all. So example would be like my apartment was a mess because of various reasons, and like I can't shoot in a messy apartment. So I had to clean that up first so I can have a pleasant background and, you know, also look presentable myself, which is a task on its own. So yeah, that's like something I actually needed to do. Like I actually had to make my place look good before I could shoot. So that's like something I worked on over time. There were other tasks like making sure I edited previous video content before I start new video content. That was not helpful to me because I'm not always inspired to edit. I hate editing. I was like, yeah, no, I will edit my Ireland vlog before I start this. I must edit and upload that first. And then I just kept putting it off, and I got busy with other stuff, and which is what also led to me not starting this sooner. So I think I've gone into enough detail about the reasons which were holding me back before. And so now I want to focus on what helped me actually move forward and move on to starting this series. I think the first part of that was me actually sitting down and figuring out what these issues were. Like I feel like a lot of times we don't talk to ourselves, or like we don't think to ourselves what our feelings are, what our reasons are. I think just sitting down and maybe actively or not actively doing this, I feel like it was kind of gradual. I didn't just sit down like, let me think about why I'm not starting a video today. I think it happened over time slowly, where I subconsciously was thinking about it, and one day it clicked. So I feel like maybe if that's your process, that's great. If you need to actually sit down and write down with a pen and paper, that's even better. Whatever works for you guys. But I think addressing those issues first really helps you figure out what you need to work on. The second thing is also your mindset about your situation, your mindset about the thing that you want to start. I think that's going to be like a core value in this video, and like a lot of videos to come, is like changing mindsets. And I feel like changing mindsets is actually really hard to do. It's not something that happens overnight. But it's like little things that kind of like inspire you along the way, which help you change your mindset to where it needs to be for your situation. And you might not even know where it needs to be until later on. Like it's kind of like those like fluffy things, but I'm trying to make it not fluffy. So I will talk to you guys about how I changed my mindset. And I think that was me addressing my fears. So the first fear was, I'm scared that this won't turn out. I had to be like, you know what? Well, if it doesn't turn out, that's life. But, you know, I just have to start somewhere, and I have to start with one video, and I'll get better over time, because I know that's how I work. So I had to just keep telling myself that I have to start. Like, stop making these excuses to yourself, Tejal. Just like go on and start doing this. And second fear about like what people will think, I think that's something I can't control. I can't control if people will be disappointed by this video or disappointed by my abilities or really appreciative or like blown away. That's not in my control at all. So realizing that I can't control people's feelings or thoughts, and I can just do enough so that I'm doing this for me and I'm making myself happy because this is something that I wanted to do and it makes me happy that I'm starting it. So that was also a little shift in my mindset where I'm just like, you know, you gotta just do what you gotta do. There's like fluff in the air. So now moving on to the physical obstacles I had to address and figure out what I'm gonna do with them. I did make a to-do list mentally because I don't believe in writing on paper. Jokes. I probably should write it down on paper and make it more productive, but I'm just like all over the place right now. So it was like a mental task list. And the first thing was, you know, I need to make my apartment clean. That's necessary for me to just enjoy life in my apartment during this quarantine and start making videos. So I did get that done. And I did do some things which were not necessary for this project, but which helped me in getting into a rhythm of getting more stuff done. So like I cleaned out my closet and organized it for spring. That is not in any way going to help you for this video, but it made me feel productive, it made me feel good about myself. It helped me get into a routine of just getting stuff done. So I'm like, okay, one more tick mark, and that kind of gives you like positive motivation to do more things. So although it was not necessary, I did it first before shooting this video because it was something that I wanted to do while I still dwelled on how overwhelming this whole process is. So I guess that's how I kind of tackled my task list. There were also things I had to sit down and like, not sit down. I never sit down and think, guys. This is all like in a mental mumbo jumbo in my head that's like constantly happening. But so eventually I had to be like, okay, override all these tasks which are not important. They are not essential to anything you're doing right now in life, and they can wait. So that was really hard for me because I'm like, no, must do next thing in order. But eventually I was like, hey, no, you're being stupid, Tejal. Just do what's important and do what's going to bring the most value to you right now. Which brings me to my last thing, which was equipment. And equipment I can't really do anything about right now because of the loop that I'm stuck in, except breaking that loop and just being like, okay, you know what? Get it over with. Just shoot the video. Do the best you can with the lighting that you have, which is a lamp that's like shining right bright at my face right now. And maybe doing some like after effects in editing, which I hate doing. But that's life, and yeah. I hope that it didn't seem too fluffy. I'm trying to make it really clear and concise. I actually want to bring up points which will help people rather than just being like, you know, be a go-getter, do it, yeah, like that, no. And yeah, so I just want to end this video on a positive note. I hope that during this time, which is a tough time for a lot of us who are stuck at home, if you guys are trying to start something new, please share it in the description below. I feel like a lot of people are looking for ideas right now to do new things during the quarantine. So it'd be great to share those ideas, as well as just share your feedback on what you thought of my process, what your process is, and what could help other people who are in similar situations. And yeah, so with that, I really hope you like this video. I hope that you subscribe if you haven't already. I do have a lot of great stuff coming up. My next video is actually going to be about my Hakuna Matata lifestyle. So for those of you who know me, I'm like, well, yeah, we'll talk about it in the next video. Yeah, okay, that's all. So until next time, bye.